relax and just,
A light weekend for you?
yeah, I was just chilling.
So I am not chilling, and
What are
I don't know.
you?
I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I'm actually going on a little date in about 2 hours from now, from this point of this recording.
Oh, Trent?
So,
Okay.
I need your advice right here, right now. What do I need to know? I'm in the student chair. What do I
You're
need to
on.
know to stand out in this date?
Ooh, I would say number one, do not be awkward.
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
I know that's
Okay.
really
I'll have to make
vague.
note of that.
That's very vague, but
What is awkward? Like, what is
like
awkward?
what is awkward? Like, don't stare too deep into her eyes. Make eye contact. Keep it normal. Keep it cool, but don't be
Okay.
like,
Crazy eyes. See,
yeah,
I have been told I got crazy eyes and then I don't
okay,
blink because I get intense. So I'm gonna have to
exactly,
not do that.
exactly, because that's awkward, and it's kind of like, why is he doing that?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
Okay,
then
so don't be awkward. What else?
don't overtalk.
Okay, so ask questions.
Ask questions. Yeah, listen, listen, listen.
Listen
Yep,
to her so she feels heard.
exactly, Trent. And then
Okay, well,
you go.
it's gonna be successful, and
Yeah,
everyone's gonna have to subscribe now if they haven't already to
exactly.
follow along to see what happens. But I'm in the listening mode here today, Angelica. I got my
Okay.
headphones in. I was looking at your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You've got this great banner,
Mm.
joyful, achiever, efficient. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, those are like three words I feel best describe just who I am in a nutshell. I have a lot of personality. The Lord has blessed me with just this natural joy essence about me, right? And then achiever, like I'm a pretty determined person. I like to just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Like I'll have goals and I'm like, no, there's more, there's more, there's more. And then
Yeah.
efficient. I do things in a timely manner. So
Yeah, I respect that. I respect
yeah,
that. You want to be successful. You know what you want. You're going after it. And I
yeah,
think a lot of people relate to that, Angelica, because a lot of people were probably in the position you were in 6 months, a year ago, maybe not knowing what you wanted, and
right.
maybe not being in that opportunity vehicle they need to
Yeah.
put their talents to work. So what we're here to talk about today, Angelica, is your experience getting in tech sales, which so many people want to do. But in
Right.
order to get to that point, why don't you take us back, maybe 6 months, a year,
Yeah.
maybe where were you at in life? What were you doing? And what was that change or that idea of I need things to be maybe either better or different for me.
Yeah, for sure. Like about 6 months to a year. I was paralegal, litigation paralegal, working at a law firm here in my city, downtown, and
Where you live at?
Columbus.
Columbus,
Oh,
Ohio?
Yeah.
Really? The 614. Are you from the 614?
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
from Worcester. Have you ever heard of Worcester?
Yeah,
Probably.
one
You
of my
have?
best one of my best friends growing up was from Worcester. Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Okay.
it's definitely out there a little bit, but I'm
Yeah, yeah,
aware.
yeah. Okay.
I'm from Columbus. That's why I know. I'm from Columbus.
Oh, nice. So you
Yeah,
already
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Okay.
Columbus is great. Shout out Columbus.
Yeah, exactly. So I was working at a law firm, and like it was cool. I was content. But I had been thinking, I've been hearing about sales and tech sales for like the last year and a half. I did a little research in it, started out with just looking at like data entry, things like that. But then I follow Anthony O'Neill, and he had this talk about Bethel Tech, and I had watched that interview. That's what really, really for real piqued my interest. And I was like, okay, okay. Now at that time, even a year ago, like I was in school too. I was in school pursuing my paralegal studies, right? So I saw the Bethel Tech, and it was like, I don't know if I want to like go to school again on top of going to school on top of going to school.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was like a couple months later when I had saw his interview with Cyrus um, for the CourseCareers boot camp, and I said, boot camp, I can do that because it's quick, and then the amount, and then like when I looked into it, I was like, wait, it seems like they're pouring out a lot of information in such a short amount of time, but for the price, like, whoa, why would I not? You know?
What did you learn in boot camp that was enough of a reason for you to say, I'm pursuing paralegal, like I kind of like it, but maybe there's more out there? What specifically sparked your interest enough to say, you know what, I'm willing to invest my own money in the information I need to get in the right opportunity vehicle.
Yeah. One thing for me was the books that were recommended. That I understand, like the even just the coursework itself speaks for itself, but when I actually began to read the books that were recommended, that was like, whoa, it was a game changer for me. Like the how to make friends. I always get the title wrong, y'all.
Win
How
friends and
to
influence people. It's a great one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. When I
Yeah.
read that, I was like, what in the world? All the things he was sharing in that book, it was like, wait, it clicked on me. I was like, I can actually do this. What in the world? What am I doing? What am I
Yeah.
doing right now? Why
I
am I
think
not?
that's the powerful realization that people need to have is saying, you know what? People like me have done this. It's
Yeah.
possible. And I think that that's just the shift, because a lot of people would stay in the paralegal and say, you know what, this is good
Right.
enough. I'll keep doing it. But I'm
Right.
willing to challenge myself and go into these unknown waters because I believe I can do it.
Exactly. That's really, yes. You said exactly what I was feeling at that time. I was like, I actually
Good.
can do it for real. And I took a lot of prayer. And I'm a believer, so it took a lot of prayer. I always want to go where peace is, so I don't want to make decisions just haphazardly, but I felt the peace of the Lord, and so we're running. We're going.
Yeah, we're running full speed. So once you went through the free tech sales intro course, which you're talking about, a lot of information packed in a short period of time, so people can
Yeah.
really understand, is tech sales for me? I
Hmm.
can make a lot of money. That's cool, but like, can I communicate okay enough? Like, is this for
Yeah.
me? We teach all of that, and that's going to be linked below if anyone wants to check it out for free. But once you got in the paid course, which of course
Yeah.
it is a large upfront investment, $500. It's a lot of
Right.
money to pursue this idea. Once you
Mhm.
got in the course, in addition to the books, what do you think about the information? How did it help prepare you to eventually get hired in tech?
I mean, literally, those techniques, the spin and the bant technique, that right there, first of all, because I have like a sales background, but learning how to frame such a conversation in a way that's tailored for your prospect, it was that learning curve that I was like, whoa, I never knew. I didn't even know that this was a thing. I just thought, okay, you're just gonna talk to someone and you're just gonna give them the feel, felt, found. It's everything's just gonna go great, and it's like, yeah, that's part of it. There's more. There's
Yeah.
totally more. Yeah.
You're talking a lot about communication styles now. So, like the advice you gave me, listening
Yes.
and making people feel heard, delivering value, talking about things in the terms of what they want. So, that's what
Mhm.
I talk about all the time is that's when
Yeah.
you know you're a great salesperson, is when the other person believes that your idea is actually their own idea. And it's
Yes.
the ultimate form of persuasion, which is what we
Yeah.
want to help teach people how to think about these things. Because when you can communicate ideas, the opportunities are endless, whether it's
Yep.
convincing your partner to go to the movie you want to go to, this restaurant you want to go to,
Yeah.
buy this $1 billion software package we're going to sell you here today, whatever it may be. It's all about communication at the end of the day. So
Right.
you learned maybe more confidence and specific strategies, skills, how to communicate as a result of going through the course careers. How did course careers maybe prepare you to find the right company and then eventually land that job? Because I think that's a step a lot of people are curious about and
Yeah.
also have a lot of problems with.
Okay. Yeah, I would say for me, just knowing who I am, I do enjoy to be in a fun, free flowing atmosphere, but still that structured. So that just, when it comes to looking for the culture, I think a lot of people, okay, what's the culture here? What is it like? So that's one thing. And then the other thing for me, it just took with the actual course, what helped me was learning about um I just had a whole brain fart. Okay.
It's okay. It's Friday afternoon for us. It's Friday
Cool.
afternoon for us.
Okay.
We're coming to the people live after a hard, long,
Okay.
fought week of work.
Okay.
I'm
Exactly.
right there with you.
Yes. Can you ask me your question again?
How do you think you found, how did you know how to find that right company and then land the position? Because to your point, culture is really important, a
Yeah.
fun, free flowing environment. You can go to the website, you can do all that, but I mean, you landed a role with
Yeah.
no experience and
None.
technically no degree as well, right?
Exactly.
How did you do
Yeah.
it?
So
There's
okay.
thousands, there's hundreds
There's
of thousands of people
2,000.
that watching this that are in a similar position to you,
Yes.
Angelica. that see you as now successful on
Yeah.
the right path forward, a path that maybe they would want to be on. How did
Yeah.
you do it?
So, okay, thank you. So for me, whenever I was through the course and I was getting through the part in the course where it like talks about LinkedIn and how to like kind of just beef up your LinkedIn, make it more tailored professional. And once I did that, I actually had two different companies reach out to me on LinkedIn and shoot me a message. And so my story is just a little bit different. I hadn't even really, I actually hadn't looked at any company or applied anywhere. I had had two messages. It was like 3 weeks of me being in the course. I actually received one message from a cybersecurity, and then I received a message from Angie. And so I was going through the interview process, and just between those two companies, what stood out to me in making my decision, it was with Angie, the hiring manager that I interviewed with. When I interviewed with her, it literally felt like no interview. It actually felt like I was talking to someone I knew for years. I felt like she had such this mothering like vibe to her. I
Yeah.
was like, I feel comfortable to actually put myself underneath her leadership. I would actually feel like she has my back, and actually if I have any questions, it's going to be that like open, trusted type of policy, type of, door. Okay, not that micromanage, but like the open, just and trusting at the same time. That actually what grasped me to really make my decision with the company that I'm with now. And also just reading, and connecting, because I did reach out to Donovan on LinkedIn. I saw that he
Donovan
had,
Sprulis.
yeah, I
That
saw he
guy's
got
a beast.
hired. I
He
know.
is a
Okay.
beast.
Literally, because I was talking to him at work today. I was like, you are, how in the world? But I reached out to him and he gave me just some pointers, and just, I was like, so what is your experience? And he shared with me too. And I did my own research. So that's really how my decision was made. It's a little bit different than most.
Okay, so you found your way in, which is incredible. I'm
Yeah.
curious if you have a message to share with your past self. If you could go back a couple months to
Yeah.
you're sitting there doing your paralegal deal, trying to
Yeah.
figure things out, and you're like, I want to change, I want more.
Right.
And you're like, do I spend $500 on a course that may or may not work? What advice would you go back and give yourself? Because think about all the people that are in that spot right now deciding, is this something I should actually buy and do and pursue? Because you get out of it whatever you put into it, and it's important to be all in. So why don't you share your reflections on that?
Yeah. For me, it would be get uncomfortable, because this was
Mm.
extremely, unequivocally uncomfortable.
Ah, okay.
Just, you might as well just get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because literally it's something you don't know. And that right there already naturally would bring fear, because it's like, I don't know. What am I doing? I don't know. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because if I hadn't made the decision to be uncomfortable, I wouldn't be talking with you right now.
And what was uncomfortable about it?
Learn like the terminology of tech. That's a part of the course where it goes through the terminology. At first it can make me feel inadequate, like I don't know how to say this word. I don't know how I gonna put this, how am I, what, like, because even just learning, because you're going to be speaking with gatekeeper, how to even talk to a gatekeeper before you even get to the decision maker, like all of that plays a huge part into before you even make your deal, right? And so that it's like uncomfortable. It's not every
Yeah.
day you talk to a gatekeeper. That don't
you're
happen
you're
every
you're
day.
dropping all the lingo right now. You got gatekeeper, you got the deal, decision
Yes,
maker. You're already dropping the lingo. You got it
yes.
down.
Yeah. So you just gotta get uncomfortable, because that is uncomfortable. Who wants to do that? Naturally, do you want to talk to someone before you talk to someone before you actually talk to the right person?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah. What is maybe most challenging? I know you recently started, so you're probably still
Yeah,
going through training, just
I
starting to
am.
hit the phones a little bit. What's
Yeah.
maybe been the biggest learning going through an onboarding process and
Mhm.
actually starting at a company working in sales? What has been those lessons? Because I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, well, I just want to get hired. But that's when
Yeah.
the real work starts, is once you actually start. And the skills you use to find success in your job is the same skills required to find the job. So to all the people out there thinking, man, I've already applied to 10 companies. I just don't get a call back. It took me like 30 interviews to get hired, and I thought I was an okay candidate. I mean, I got a lot of rejections, and that's just what it is. So what have you learned going through? You've made it to the other side, and what have you learned being on that side?
I have learned listening. I have learned that that's a make or break in your deal. If you don't know how to listen and listen to that prospect's pain point and offer your solution, it's a no. It's not going to work. If you just want to sit there and talk about your product and tell them, da, 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 we can do this for you, and you never learned about what it is that they're having an issue with, what it is that they actually need help with, they literally are most likely going to hang up on you. Literally, because you're sounding very salesy. So you want to have a balance. We're not making friends, right? But you want to have a balance in between, okay, I'm going to learn about my prospect, but I'm still here to make a sale. So I also am going to present. But you want to listen, because that's key in your discovery.
Do you have any good strategies for listening out there?
I would
Tactics,
say
tricks.
Yeah. I would say so. I learned for every like 60 to 120 seconds that I speak, I need to re-engage my prospect. So little phrases like, does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying?
It catches,
Is that okay?
I'm like, oh, is she talking to me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I'm back in already.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to loop the person back in, because again, I don't want to come off as I'm just talking. Are you here with me? Are we together in this conversation? Are you paying attention? So I need to always re-engage the prospect after at least. If you're talking 2 minutes and you hear that prospect just hasn't said anything, re-engage them. Do you get what I'm saying, Trent?
I get exactly what you're saying. I'm on the same wavelength as you, Angelica. I think it's a powerful insight, because it's so easy to say, hey, two ears, one mouth for a reason type thing, and it's listening doesn't come naturally to people, because you're maybe thinking about I could maybe be thinking about what you're saying and worried about what question I'm going to ask next, and not actually catch what you're saying, which can be a problematic. Where I want to end, Angelica, is being, of course, a woman in tech. I think a lot of people draw inspiration from your story, because a lot of folks are out there like, hey, like, how do I break through? Like, I like whatever. What would you say to folks out there that are like, hey, like, it's possible for me too? Because I think that it's an important conversation to have.
Yes, absolutely. I would say to those people, you first want to be secure in who you are, because it's who you are that you're bringing into these interviews. It's who you are that is going to be a part of every single deal. Like, bringing yourself. Stay true to yourself. Don't bend. Don't try to, oh, I think I need to sound this way. Oh, I think I should say this. No, be yourself. Like, I have a lot of laughter, a lot of joy. I brought that with me into the interview. I wasn't shying away from it to try to be someone else, right? Because I'm only Angelica. There's no one else that's me. And that's beautiful in itself. So be you. And I know that's like, could be like cliche or whatever, but you have to be yourself. Because when you're not yourself and you're being someone else, people can you could just tell when someone's not them. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you could just tell when someone's not being them. And that can be a little uncomfortable and like, well, almost like a little shady. Like, so why are you trying to play me right now? So I would say that would be number one. And then don't take no for an answer. Because like you just said, you had 30 interviews, right? You could have stopped at 29, but you continued. Don't take no like for an answer. Continue till you hear that yes. And that's even in tech sales. You're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. But that one yes will make all the difference.
Well said, Angelica. Well, I certainly think you've embodied the joyful, achiever, and efficient. I believe treating clients with the utmost respect is paramount. You've got a better LinkedIn banner than I do. Everyone's still listening. You got to go check out Angelica's LinkedIn. I'm going to link it down below. I'm also going to put a link to the free tech sales intro course with CourseCareers. Highly recommend you checking it out. It's for free, and it answers why tech sales is great, what you actually would be doing, and how to get started. And I think it answers a lot of questions so people can decide if it's even the right thing for them. Angelica, thanks so much for being here today.
Yes. Have an amazing day.
I'm going to try. I'm going to listen.
Okay.